Hey, credit where credit is due. Great month for NIO. Yeah, there's still some serious issues here, but still, we've got to focus on the positive here, and that is that NIO's hit an all-time record for deliveries in the month of August, particularly because of its Onvo brand, which now contributes more than half of NIO's total sales. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. NIO announced today a new all-time high for vehicle deliveries in August. They delivered 31,000 vehicles, which was a 55% increase versus last year. So a good month for NIO. Now, there's some different ways to analyze this, and I'll get to those in just a minute. NIO delivered 10,500 vehicles, 10,500 for the NIO brand. NIO's affordable Onvo brand delivered 16,434, and it's marketed as more of a affordable small car brand, the Firefly. They delivered 4,346. So about 66% of all of the NIO brand sales were actually Onvo and Firefly. YouTube's new algorithm means that you're often not getting all of our videos in your feed. There's 7,500. I'm pretty sure you're probably not seeing a lot of them. In the description, there is a link to our newsletter. Click on that and you can get an update every day of all the latest news in the electric car industry. NIO car sales actually have fallen significantly. In fact, they've fallen by about 50% versus last year. But Onvo and Firefly, of course, have helped bump the company to a new record. I personally think the idea of having all these multiple brands, which some car manufacturers are doing, notably Xpeng has not done this. Zeekr haven't done this. I personally think having all these brands confuses the market. And I think NIO as a brand, if it had have launched these vehicles under the NIO brand instead of creating Onvo and Firefly, I don't think its success would have been any different. I think it would have sold just as many vehicles, but there'd be a little bit less confusion from people who've never heard of Firefly. What does that even mean? Onvo, what does that even mean? But this is what car companies often do in China. They just like to make new brands, and I don't know why, but it's something that they do, and sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't. Cumulatively now, NIO has delivered 838,000 vehicles in total over the last 11 years. This includes 748,500 units from the NIO brand, 75,000 from Onvo, and 15,000 or 14,500 from the Firefly brand. Now, the Firefly brand, they have a hatchback, which I've done a review on. I think it's pretty cool. It's a bit pricey in China, but it's a pretty funky little car, and they're going to sell it in Australia. They're going to sell it in Europe, and I think that's actually happening within the next few months. So that's kind of cool. That's exciting. Onvo L90, which everyone keeps talking about the Onvo L90, how it's going to destroy the Tesla Model YL, the new 6-seat Tesla Model YL. I've seen so many videos of people saying, oh, the Model YL is dead in the water because the Onvo L90 is so much better, blah, 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 blah. I don't think that's actually accurate in terms of sales. If that were the case, NIO delivered 10,600. That's good. That's really good, but it's not world beating. It's not Xiaomi SU7 or Xiaomi U7 type numbers. It's nothing close to that. That's its debut month though. So, NIO definitely could increase sales of the Onvo L90, which actually is a very good value electric SUV, which I think NIO would be better off selling that in other countries around the world than the Firefly, because I think it would do better. But here's the thing. NIO sales are great, but they don't make a profit on the cars they sell. They actually make a significant loss. But NIO needs to sell more cars, obviously, in order to eventually make a profit, assuming, that would happen. It could. I mean, really, if you double production, it should mean the price to produce each vehicle comes down by around about approximately 20%. So if NIO can keep on pushing and increasing their sales, that will definitely help them. For basically what's going to happen is each car will cost less to manufacture. NIO launched the pre-sale of its all-new ES8 as well on the 21st of August. And that's NIO's flagship tech SUV. The new ES8 starts at a price of $58,000 US. It's much cheaper than the previous version. I think it's about $15,000 US cheaper than the previous version. And you can buy it for $43,000 with no battery when you rent the battery. So that's an option. NIO's president has revealed that pre-orders for the new ES8 have surpassed the initial order volume of the Onvo L90, but I don't know what that means exactly. How many orders do they actually have? If it was a huge number, I suspect they probably would have told us. So it might be 10,000 or something like that. Anyway, despite these sales numbers, NIO's chairman and CEO, William Li, acknowledged massive challenges at NIO, particularly regarding the company's goal of achieving profitability in the fourth quarter of 2025, which is not going to happen. Here's what he said. For a long time, probably less than 1% of people in the world believed we could be profitable in Q4. That's a really weird statement. I'm going to just read that again. For a long time, probably less than 1% of people in the world believed we could be profitable in Q4. So he's saying they believed it in the past, but they don't believe it now. I don't know, I'm a bit confused. Maybe there's a bit of an issue with translation. NIO's saying they're going to make a profit in the fourth quarter of this year, but considering they're losing in some quarters nearly $1 billion and not that far off it in the last quarter, that does seem pretty unlikely. Now, the Onvo L90 is a great car. If NIO could sell basically double their car sales in the next 3 or 4 months, that will certainly help them get closer to profitability. I mean, I hope that they can. I hope they can do it. I think it's really unlikely, but you never know. Anyway, NIO's sales, basically we should probably be giving them a pat on the back saying, well done, NIO. This is a record number of sales for you. It's good news for the company that they're selling more cars. The strategy to have cheaper cars was a good idea in terms of sales volume, but NIO's margins have been declining. In the past, analysts looked at NIO. They looked at them and said their one advantage over their rivals was their revenue per car was higher than everyone else, higher than Xpeng. They're always talking about this, comparing them to Xpeng, saying, look, NIO's revenue is higher, higher, higher. But of course, now they've got the Onvo brand and they've reduced the prices of a lot of their cars. That advantage has eroded somewhat. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. NIO's CEO has finally admitted that the company is fighting for its survival. However, in the same sentence, he said, NIO's new pricing will offend its existing customers. This is the challenge you face as a company, isn't it? When you discount your EVs, what does that mean? I mean, to be honest, if I'd bought a NIO EV and then I saw they'd reduce the price by 30%, I'd probably feel pretty angry, but this is what's happening. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. NIO just revealed an updated version of their electric SUV. It's $14,000 cheaper than the previous version. $14,000 cheaper. And this is what the CEO said. NIO must prioritize the bigger picture as survival. Survival is the most important thing. The new pricing may hurt the feelings of some existing users in the short term. I think it's going to hurt their feelings forever, to be honest. But in the long run, the pricing strategy will help NIO maintain its competitiveness in the fierce market. Now, I would argue NIO's not really all that competitive considering its sales numbers, which are pretty small. I mean, they're only selling about 20 to 25,000 cars worldwide.